Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to go on an amazing adventure through the story of one of America's most important states, Pennsylvania. From the Liberty Bell all the way to Hershey's chocolate, we're about to find out what makes this place so special. So, have you ever looked at a map of the original 13 colonies? Right there in the middle, kind of holding everything together, you'll find Pennsylvania. And you've probably heard its nickname, the Keystone State. But what does that actually mean? Let's figure it out together. Okay, so a keystone is that special wedge-shaped stone you see at the very top of an arch. It's the last one you put in, and it literally locks all the other stones into place, making the whole thing super strong. It's really the perfect way to think about Pennsylvania. It was a state right in the middle, holding the branding nation together. To really understand how it became the keystone, we've got to travel way, way back in time, back when the land was just this huge green forest. Our story starts right there. Long before any colonists showed up, this land was home to Native American tribes, like the Lenape and the Susquehannock. It was just this beautiful place, covered in thick woods and crisscrossed by rivers. And actually, that's where the name comes from. Pennsylvania literally means Penn's Woods. The story of Penn's Woods really kicks off with a guy named William Penn. Back in 1681, he was given this land. Now, Penn was a Quaker, which means he believed in peace and fairness for everybody. His big dream was to create a colony where people could practice any religion they wanted, totally freely and safely. He even signed a peace treaty with the local Lenape tribe. And because of his awesome vision, people from all over, including groups like the Amish, came to Pennsylvania to build a new, peaceful life. Penn's whole idea of creating a place for big, new ideas made Pennsylvania the absolute perfect setting for the next incredible chapter in America's story, the birth of a nation. So when the colonies decided it was time to be free from England, where did all their leaders meet? You guessed it, right here in Philadelphia. This is where they wrote the Declaration of Independence. You can almost think of it as America's giant birthday card to the world, signed on July 4th, 1776. And get this, legend says that when the Declaration was read aloud for the first time, this very bell, the Liberty Bell, rang out all across Philadelphia to celebrate. Even with its famous crack, it's still this powerful symbol of American freedom that you can actually go and see today. And the story of American symbols continues right here in Philadelphia. There's this super popular legend that a seamstress named Betsy Ross sewed the very first American flag, the one with 13 stars and stripes, right in her shop in the city. I mean, it's pretty clear Pennsylvania was central to creating the whole look and feel of the brand new country. But hey, Pennsylvania wasn't just for meetings and making symbols. Oh no, it was a key battleground during the Revolutionary War. George Washington's armies survived a totally freezing winter at Valley Forge and came out even tougher. And it was from a Pennsylvania shore that Washington launched his famous, super daring crossing of the Delaware River for a surprise attack. After the war, when it came time to write the official rulebook for the country, the Constitution, Pennsylvania was once again right at the center of it all. It acted like a true keystone, showing just how committed it was by becoming the second state to officially approve it, locking the new government in place. All right, let's move into a new era, because Pennsylvania's story takes another turn. It would soon become a critical battleground in another war, and an industrial giant that helped build the entire modern nation. During the Civil War, one of the most important battles in American history was fought in a small Pennsylvania town called Gettysburg. The Union victory there was a major, major turning point. A few months later, President Abraham Lincoln came to the site and gave his short but incredibly powerful Gettysburg Address, reminding everyone what the country was fighting for. So after the war, Pennsylvania just exploded into this industrial powerhouse. In 1859, the world's very first oil well was drilled here. Then, a little later, Pittsburgh became known as Steel City, making the literal steel that acted as the keystone for America's bridges, railroads, and skyscrapers. And during both world wars, its factories worked day and night, making Pennsylvania a true industrial hero for the country. But Pennsylvania's story isn't just about serious history and industry. It's also the birthplace of some of the most fun and delicious things you can imagine. Are you feeling hungry? Well, you can thank Pennsylvania. The town of Hershey is known as the sweetest place on earth. Yep, home of Hershey's chocolate. Philadelphia gave us the incredible Philly cheesesteak. The state is also the pretzel capital, making 8 out of every 10 pretzels in the whole country. And that Heinz ketchup for your fries? That started in Pittsburgh. And speaking of things you probably use all the time, get ready for this number. The Crayola factory in Easton, Pennsylvania, makes about 3 billion crayons every single year. Chances are the crayon in your art box started its life right there. That's just wild. And how about toys? The classic Slinky, the one that magically walks downstairs. It was invented by accident in Philadelphia way back in 1943. An engineer knocked some springs off a shelf, watched them walk, and the rest is history. What a happy accident. Pennsylvania is also the home of one of the kindest people ever to be on television, Fred Rogers. From his studio in Pittsburgh, Mr. Rogers taught generations of kids about kindness and being a good neighbor, always starting with his gentle question, "Won't you be my neighbor?" And for something a little quirky, Pennsylvania gave the world Groundhog Day. Every February 2nd, the whole country watches a groundhog named Punxsutawney Phil to see if he'll predict an early spring. It's this fun, silly tradition that all started right here. So we've seen Pennsylvania's absolutely incredible past, but how does all that history connect to the state today? Let's take a look. Well, take Pittsburgh, for instance. It used to be the smoky steel city, famous for its factories. Today, it's this vibrant hub for universities, cool tech companies, and beautiful parks. But it has never forgotten its past. It still has over 440 bridges, and, of course, a football team proudly named the Steelers. Modern Pennsylvania is just an amazing mix of old and new. About 13 million people call it home, and get this, more than half the state is still covered in forests. It's still Penn's Woods. You can stand where the Declaration of Independence was signed in the morning, ride a roller coaster at Hershey Park in the afternoon, and even pass an Amish horse and buggy on the road. It's all there. From a dream of peace in the woods to the birthplace of a nation, from the steel that built America to the crayons that color our world, Pennsylvania truly is the Keystone State. It holds together so many important, fun, and fascinating pieces of the American story. So the only question left is, what part of this incredible story will you explore next?